touch that 5 for you. I do that 3 more times again, I testify for you. I told I like you, that bitch, I do it all and I'm around you.
Anyways, I'm trying to create like a Christmas dress that I want to start doing in December. So I got this from a friend of mine. She didn't want the fabric anymore, so I was like, can I have it? It's like this red type of like spandex material. So I decided that I might make a dress out of it. It's gonna be like a simple dress for right now because I don't know how much fabric I'm working with, but as of right now, it's enough to make like a little mini like party Christmas dress, and hopefully I get to wear this around Christmas, or if I have like a Christmas party or whatever that I wanted to go to, I have something to wear that kind of matches the theme. I also have a sketch of what I'm trying to do. So this is the dress that I'm trying to recreate. It might be a little different because I'm still working the kinks out of the top. The bottom might just be a straight like a mini skirt. That's what it's gonna be. It might have some straps, it might not, so we're just going to figure it out basically. I have a pattern for the dress that I'm trying to make. I also have another pattern for like the top part, and the bottom part is super easy, just putting it together, but I'm not sure if I want to create like a bustier type top. I think I just want to create like a basic straight top, which is backless, and then put some like cool little cross straps on the back of it. Started this off different. I'm going to cut out everything and try to put it together. You'll get some clips here and there of me trying to make it. I really need to focus on like making this, so if you don't see a lot of clips, that's probably why. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started, cut out the material, kind of put it together and see how it fits, and then I will talk to y'all later. It looks like I have enough to like create the bustier top. I might line it with something that stretches with it, but if I cannot find a lining that stretches with it, then I'll just use the same fabric and like use the other side of the fabric. Like I can use this top half right here to cut out the bustier top, and then this other half I can use for the skirt. Okay, I set my fabric out. I'm going to cut the basic like dress pattern for right now just to see, and then once I cut that out and put it together, then I'll figure out like what I need to change or what I can keep and stuff. So okay, so I cut them out. They're both on fold, so really I just have to cut one. But this is the front. I made this a little bit taller because I wasn't sure on how deep this cut is, because I totally forgot what I did on there. So I left it like this for right now until I put it together. So I put the notches all in so that way I can match them evenly, since this is different. But once I put it together and put the notches together and everything, then I'll figure out how I'm going to do this neckline. So quick hack, I didn't want to fold this in because I didn't want to have a raw edge for the back since it's cut like this. So I cut a bias strip that was about 16 inches long, and I think it's 1.5 inches wide because I'm going to sew like 1/2 inch around it. So I basically measured this part and then made a bias strip that's about the same size. I made it a little bit bigger so that way I know I have enough room for it. But yeah, this will be the back. This is like the top half of the back, and that's the hem. So I'm going to sew this on real quick onto here, and then yeah. So I sewed it together and then I flipped it over. So basically folded the raw edge down, and I also put notches in this because it's a curve and I want it to lay flat. So what I did was I flipped it over kind of like above the zigzag stitch that I made. So that's roughly like probably like a 1/2 inch, and then I flipped it over again so that way it's covering the raw edge, and then I just basically pinned it together so it could stay placed. And then I will run kind of maybe a small zigzag stitch
along the edge, like really close to this edge right here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have bias tape for this part because that kind of sits kind of under the arm a little bit. I didn't want to fold it, so I am just going to cut some bias strip for it. And this is about a good 6.5 by 1.25. So I'm gonna sew this instead of a half to make it a little bit smaller since it's under the arm. And then I'll do the same that I did for back. I just sew it a tad bit smaller for the seam allowance. So that's what I'm gonna do. Create a bias strip for the neckline, and I'm going to shrink it a little bit to like this, so that way it's doing that. But I made it 13 inches long because I kind of left like I think a 1/2 inch on each side. So when I flip it over like this, I'll be able to flip it back like that. So hopefully that can work. Then we're just gonna have to go with my other plan, but that is what I'm doing. So I did all the bias and everything, and I put all the notches in there. So what I did is I put the front and the back right sides together, and then I matched the notches together so that way it's even on both sides. The back, I've noticed, is a little bit bigger. I think I did that because I wanted a little bit more room. That way when I walk, it's not super tight where I'm sticking my legs together. So that's why it looks a little off. But I'm going to try to sew it with a zigzag stitch all the way down a 1/2 inch. And then I will try it on to see how it fits. If it doesn't fit a certain way, I will probably take the back off, cut it a 1/2 inch smaller, and then put it right back on to where it fits the front. But yes, I did all the bias on the sides and the front neckline. I'm also thinking about doing like a little scrunch design in the front, so that way it kind of, because it's a little too high for me, so I was gonna bring it down like this and kind of scrunch it up with some elastic right there. And if that's good with the back and everything, I'll do the back as well.
How it's looking right now. How it looks pretty. This is the back. I have this bandeau top on, so don't mind that, but it's supposed to be scooped like that. Is for where the loops are going to be at for the straps. I'm going to measure from the tip of it all the way down to this part around my arm. So I wish I had somebody to do this so I could precisely do this, but I don't. So I use a measuring tape, or you don't have to use a measuring tape. You can use a string, you can use elastic, and then make measurements for the straps from that. I just have this in my hand. How much I gotta. And when you do straps, relax your shoulders, because if you have them stiff, then you're gonna estimate from that, and then it's gonna be loose. It's gonna be loose straps. So kind of like when you measure, kind of like I got mine tense, relaxed like this. It's kind of loose. Like, I don't like that. It's kind of loose. So I try to make my arms loose, and then kind of like estimate on how tight I want it. My finger on the point where it stops. I don't know if you can see that. That's 16. I'm gonna make it a tad bit shorter so that way it's tight just in case. So I will probably make it 15 and then add seam allowance to it, which is 15.5, so that way that half can be stitched. What I can do is I can do a crisscross method instead of just going around the back. So just a straight back, it'll be 15.5. I kind of want the crisscross effect on it, so I will probably have to do all the way here, which is like crisscross, is 24, and I'm gonna put a loop in it, so it's gonna come in and then out, so I can tie it in the back. So 24 to 24, and then I'm gonna make the strap in the back of it. So, I usually stop around my butt because I don't want the string that long. So 43. So in total for one strap going across, it would be 43. So I would have to make 2 straps that are 43 inches long, half an inch, and then sew it, and it'll be a little bit skinny like a spaghetti strap. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I already have the fabric for the loop. So I will show you the measurements in the next clip.
So I forgot to record on how I did the straps and the loops. So I really did like a long strap, probably like 43 inches long. And then I hand stitched it to the tips of the dress. And I also did like a little scrunch in the middle. And then I crossed it all the way to the back. And then I did the loop. It was roughly like a 1.5 inch wide and 2 inches long, and it was enough to make 2 of these. So I just had to sew it, turn it inside out, and then fold it together. And then I also sewed that together. It's enough to put another one here, but when I put it on, it was fine. And then you just cross it together and loop it through, and then that's how I did the straps.
So it's the next day. I already finished the first dress that I made. In the beginning, I did say that I wasn't sure if I had enough fabric to make the bustier. Turns out I do, so I have enough to make at least 2 dresses. So I made the first one, which you saw in the first clip. So now I'm gonna make the second dress, which is probably just gonna be a top and a skirt. I have my fabric for the bustier. I have like 2 different styles of bustier tops that I have that I originally had did not look right, so I'm just gonna skip that one and use mine that I made previously, cut it out and all that. So yep,
This is the pattern that I'm working with, so I'm going to cut two of each of these, and then I'll probably do another 2 on the other side of the fabric to create the lining. So that's what I'm gonna do. Each of these patterns has 2. So this is the center front. I decided to cut 2 because I kind of want a seam in the middle. And this is like the side, the side back, and the back right here. So I got all my material, and then I'm sew it and see how that looks. So I pinned them together, and all I have to do is sew either 1/4 inch for right now, just to see, because right now it looks a little small to me. So I'm just gonna sew 1/4 inch instead of a 1/2 inch, and then put it on my mannequin and see how that fits. And then all I have to do is take in the seam. I created 2 of the same bustier tops because I'm going to sew them right sides together to make it thicker and possibly put a lining in it. So I did the same thing that I did to beginning of the clip, and I just made another one. So put it on top like this, sew it right sides together. I might put in the boning first and then sew it, or I can only sew the top half. I can sew the sides up, top, sides down, that way the bottom is still open. So I pressed out all the seams, and I put 2 boning cases on the front. I didn't have enough to make 3 because I wanted 2 on each side, but I wanted the structure to be in the front, so I put them in the front. So I left like 1/2 inch at the bottom because I'm going to sew it. If I would have sewed it longer, it would have broke my needle. So I left a 1/2 inch on the top and the bottom, so that way I can stitch a 1/2 inch on the top and then a 1/2 inch on the bottom. Alright, so I sewed the top a 1/2 inch, and I also sewed the bottom a 1/2 inch. I also cut the boning already, so there's a little space right here, so that way I can probably hand stitch or do something so the boning won't come out. But this is what it looks like right now. Since I sewed the top and the bottom, I left the sides open so that way I can turn it inside out. So I did the top. I just gotta fix it up a bit, but for right now I'm gonna cut the skirt out. This was a bodycon dress pattern that I had, so I just shortened it to the waist part, and then however long this fabric is how long the skirt will be. So it's probably gonna stop like right there, right where that crease is at. So I'll make the front and the back, sew it together, and then also create a waistband as well. This one I did the same thing as the first one. I hand stitched like a basting stitch around the edge of this to make it stay straight. It looks bulky right now. I didn't want to take it in because this mannequin is different from my body, so it might fit tighter than it is on this. And then here's the skirt. It's a long pencil skirt with the waistband. I also attached some like bra straps that I had, and I just cut it off of my old bra and put them on here to hold it. The back is not done per se because I want to do some loop straps into it. So I would create a long strap like I did with this one and make a laced up back. So, and then I'll create some little loops for the straps to go through. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this year, so really help out if you subscribe to my channel, like this video. Let's get it to like, I don't know, 1K. I don't know, I'm probably jumping to conclusions, but that is my goal for this year. More fashion videos relating to Christmas dresses, Christmas attire, all that good stuff, some vlogs, anything y'all think of. I will probably produce that for Christmas all throughout the month of December. So like and subscribe, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Bye guys.